Welcome back to Vanguard. I can't believe this is our 6th edition. When we started this, it was really just a place and a pathway and a portal for you all to just keep inspired and keep learning while we couldn't go out. And now the world is big and beautiful and open again. We are continuing this because it has been so successful. We love when we get new people on board, and we love when we can showcase some of the world's coolest, most curious places to keep inspiring. And we hope that you watch. We hope that you share. We hope you come back on demand. And I love that you come back on demand, because that means you're too busy to watch it live because you're booking business. So that's great. We're already planning 7, 8, 9, and 10. So watch this space, and we're going to be back in person starting this fall. So I hope that you can come and join us at one of our events with some of our partners in different cities around the country. So we're going to kick it off with United Airlines, my favorite. We're so happy to have Steve Ross back with us. He always spends a lot of time with us, and we love when he's able to share all of the good news and all of the great things that are coming down the line for United. They have really sailed through this, and they're back, and they're doing better than expected. So this is wonderful news. I was actually able to meet Steve in person finally. Now we can all do that again. So that was great. That was a treat. And we are looking forward to collaborating with them as well in the future. So watch this space. So in the meantime, I'm going to have a chat with Steve so you can learn all about what's happening in United's plans for the future.
This is the story of an airline. It begins a century ago. Wait, let's find a better way in. This is the story of an airline, one that's a force for good. And it's got everything. Romance, suspense, setbacks, seatbacks. It's a sci-fi story about a piece of trash that fuels a plane to help protect the planet. It's a rescue story to save a connecting flight told over and over and over again. And a coming-of-age story about a little girl who dreamed she could fly, and then did. Trust me, you won't want to put this one down. In fact, you can't, because you're in it. Yes, you! Along with thousands of other hero characters on a mission to do good in the air and beyond, making the world a happier, friendlier, safer, greener, more inclusive, more fascinating place. The end. No, wait, that's not right. This story doesn't have an ending. But that's kind of the point of the story. We're never finished, because this is the story of an airline when good leads the way.
That just gives me the chills. I absolutely love that. I'm so glad that you shared that with us. We are so happy to welcome back Steve Ross, Managing Director of Sales for United. Personally, my favorite airline. I'm going to go ahead and say that, full disclosure, for many reasons. And we are so happy to have you back. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. I'm thrilled to be back with you again.
Yeah, and you've got the best background of all. I think I can't match that brick wall. So thanks for coming back. Listen, post-pandemic travel, we want to talk to you about that. It is ridiculous. If anybody's been in the airport in the last 12, 18 months, it's unbelievable. People are coming back and in wild amounts. I mean, what are you seeing with your load factors and all of that? Give us a little snapshot.
Yeah, I'd love to. Yeah, it's been great. 2022 is actually turning out to be a pretty doggone year for not only for United but for the entire industry. In what business travel is still not back yet. We're still at about maybe 80, 85% of where we were traditionally with business travel. But as you and your clientele know, the leisure business is just going gangbusters, and it's going to continue to go gangbusters the rest of this year due to all the pent up demand that there is for leisure travel. We're still running right now, probably leisure travel 130, 140% of where we were 2 years ago, which has really been phenomenal. It's been really what saved the industry over the last 2 years. It's really the strength of the leisure traveler. And we're really excited now too, because we're seeing loads to Europe uh, continuing to go up and up and up, especially now that the U.S. government has lifted the inbound travel restrictions. We expect that not only will it be leisure travel to Europe that we have been seeing, it's now the business travelers are going to get back on the airplane again and go international. While United was hit probably harder than any of the other domestic carriers going into the pandemic because we were so focused on business markets and international travel. What turned out to be a tailwind going or headwind going into the pandemic turned out now to be a tailwind. We actually are anticipating a great year because we expect that 15 to 20% of the business travel to continue to narrow that gap back to where we traditionally were. And Europe and international travel is just going to be gangbusters the rest of this year. So we're very excited about 2022.
Us too. We see it on the hotel side too, and the DMC side. So we're thrilled. Let me ask you quickly, what are your thoughts on Asia now that things are starting to come back? How is Asia looking? And I see that Japan's getting ready to reopen, with some restrictions. But I know that was a big routing for you. I mean, what's the future for Asia?
Well, Asia has been by far the slowest entity to come back. Domestic travel with vacation travel was the first one to come back through the pandemic. Then Europe's actually Latin America opened up. Latin's been fabulous. We're probably 120, 130% of where we traditionally would be to Latin America. Then Europe opened up. Asia has been the slow entity to open. There still is slowness there. However, we're seeing some brighter spots popping up. As borders still continue to be somewhat challenged going into China, going into Japan. But the Chinese government just recently have lifted some of the capacity restrictions. They're easing them. They're not lifting them. They've eased them. We're restricted in terms of the number of flights that we can fly into China and the number of passengers we can carry per flight. That's eased a little. Japan just announced that they were opening up to guided tour groups again, which again, you can start to see the cracks in Asia travel. If you turn though, and you look down to a South Pac. South Pac is strong. Australia is going gangbusters right now. As a matter of fact, I know we'll chat a little later, but United just added we added our first Pacific destination in years. We're going to start flying between San Francisco and Brisbane a little later this year. And again, that's a reflection of the fact that the market is so strong.
Absolutely. I'm thrilled to hear that. It's just exciting and it's amazing. I'm sure you'll agree as you go through the airports and now on the flights with, whether you choose to mask or not, it is all so normal. It's actually, I was thinking I was on a flight this week to Dallas and I said, gosh, it's almost like it never even happened. I don't know if you've ever had that feeling, but I certainly feel that lately, which I think is a good thing.
No, you do. I mean, the airports are crowded. It's great to see. It's There's still few business suits are still a little bit few and far between, but I'm seeing more and
Yeah,
more and more folks that have that you can tell are dressed for a business meeting, and that's very encouraging. So especially if we get back to the point of both leisure and business running on all cylinders, I think it's good for all of us in this industry.
absolutely, 100%. So, what are you seeing for booking trends? I know in the past, there was not necessarily complete seasonality in the United States, but what are you seeing? Are you seeing a lot of last minute, or people booking in advance because they just can't wait to get that flight? I mean, what's your recommendation, I guess, for an agent at this moment?
Yeah, I think people right now. I mean, demand is so good right now and so great. As far out as you can book, especially for leisure traffic, I would really suggest doing that. We are seeing a lot of last minute travel. Some of it's business travel, but some of it is is vacation travel. People are saying, "Hey, I really need to go somewhere. I want to go somewhere. I don't care where I'm going. I need to go now." And you're seeing some of that, and there still are some bargains out there. If you look in the cruise business and industry, and there are some vacation destinations that you can still get a pretty good rate on. So people are jumping on at the last minute. But in general, I would not hesitate. Also, too, in all candor, pricing that's been going up. I would take advantage of pricing right now as fuel continues to impact all of us. Um, so I would highly encourage, if you're planning on going somewhere, get it on the books now. You can always cancel. We're pretty lenient still about cancellation penalties. So get it on the books and plan on it. And I'd rather be safe than sorry later on.
Good advice. And you brought up the F word, so I'm going to I'm going to expand on it. Fuel, FUEL. We are all feeling it, I think, in our personal lives. But I mean, how does an airline navigate that? I mean, I fly a lot. And you mentioned fares changing. I haven't felt that yet. Have you guys been taking different steps to sort of mitigate that? Or I mean, what's going to happen? I guess what can the consumer expect if
No,
this
that's a
hike
great something
continues?
we is everyday fuel pricing, but it's especially much more acute right now. Jet fuel is up about $100 a barrel, was just 6 months ago. For us at United, our fuel cost just for the 6 months, first 6 months of this year, will be about $10 billion more than we had planned on it being. And that's a big number. It's 10 billion with a big B. We've been actually able to absorb the majority of that, somewhat through some of it's through pricing. A lot of it has been through the fact that demand is so much stronger. We've actually been able to take a lot of those fixed costs and expand it over, or put it against the increased demand, which has helped absorb part of that. Part of that is just, we're flying smarter, we're flying efficiently these days. But the real problem here isn't necessarily a fuel problem or fuel cost problem. This right now, I think what you're seeing in terms of pricing is it's much more basic than that. It's really supply and demand. I was an economics major in college. And if you look at GDP, the gross domestic product, traditionally the services part of the GDP were about 41% of the economy. Through the pandemic, that went all the way down to about 29% because people weren't going on vacation and weren't taking advantage of services. I'm going to go buy a new washer dryer, hard durable goods. I'm going to put a new deck on my house. I'm going to put a roof on my house. And people did that for the first couple of years. Now there's all this pent up consumer demand as people are all getting back to life again. And you're seeing services now become a bigger part of GDP. It's growing. It's not back to where it traditionally was. But as a result, when we were, in the throes of the pandemic, demand was here, supply was way up here. That now has changed, where demand has actually gone above supply, and you're seeing prices being reflective of that. But they're really just getting back to where they were a couple of years ago. So I think that's why, to some degree, you can sit and look at this and say, I don't really see it that much, because if you go back in time, it's not relative to previous pricing. We're not out of whack. It's just, if you bought a ticket a year ago compared to a year ago, you're paying a lot more than you are today. But again, part of that's fuel, but it's mainly just demand being so great.
The simple supply and demand. That's a great answer. That makes a lot of sense. And I think sometimes we have to just expect that things are going to return to normal, in some way. And these are actually normal fares. But that's great. I like that explanation. All right. I want to talk to you about new routes. Share with me, I know that you mentioned something to Australia before, but tell us a couple of the hot button things that are coming online that we can expect.
No, it's great, and this has been a banner year for United. We just gone through this spring our largest expansion ever to Europe. United is now the biggest carrier across the Atlantic Ocean, whether it's European carrier, domestic carrier. We are the biggest. We added 10 new destinations just this year alone going to Europe. We had anticipated Europe really coming alive this year. 5 of those destinations are brand new ones that no one else, or at least no other North America carrier is flying. If I can remember correctly, it's the Azores, Tenerife, Mallorca, Bergen, Norway, and we're flying to Amman, Jordan as well. Really good, very interesting choices, especially for leisure travel and high-end leisure travel in particular to go to those destinations. Um, we really are, we've been adding, some domestic destinations, but really we do that all the time. We come and go in markets, we figure out where demand is and move, but it's really the international ones they're the exciting ones. So while I told you about Brisbane opening up, we're looking at other opportunities as well for South America, for Latin America, and as we see the Pacific opening again, I think you're going to continue to see added service going back in there as well.
I love it. And a couple of destinations you mentioned really play to the adventure traveler. It's interesting. So I can guess
Yeah.
that that's sort of a segment to build on. You said the Azores and you said, Amman, Jordan. I mean, that's all about, rugged adventure and amazement. So excellent to see. I'm happy. All right. So every time I'm on a flight, I see these little previews about some kind of supersonic jet or some kind of futuristic thing. What am I looking at? And tell us a little bit about that. I mean, what's going to happen in the future with your planes?
Oh yeah. And the supersonic jets are just one of many things that you're starting to get a glimpse of what the future looks like. And I'll chat about the supersonic here in a second. But we've at United, one of the things we do is we've taken this time to really focus on pushing technology and pushing what the future is going to look like and taking a leadership role in that. In the next couple of years, probably in 2024, you're going to see little vertical and takeoff landing air taxis that are going to come into the marketplace. We've bought 200 of these that we're going to put in places like New York City and Los Angeles, Chicago, where there are large urban concentration of folks and congestion getting to the airport. We're going to be able to use these to fly people into the airports. We're putting a lot of money in it and investment into companies that are building battery-powered aircraft that will replace carbon-based fuels. You're going to see those in market in the next couple of years. But the most exciting thing that we've done is we're working with a company that's out in Denver by the name of Boom. What a great name for a supersonic aircraft company or developer. But they're working on the technology to essentially replace what we all used to know, or many of us used to know, as the Concorde. And they're developing an 88-seat aircraft for us that will fly just a little less than Mach 2, so it's almost twice the speed of sound. It'll cut the travel time between the East Coast and Europe in half, same with the West Coast and Asia in half. And it's the interesting part is it's all going to be done with 100% sustainable aviation fuel, which means it will leave no carbon footprint, which is something as a company and as an organization we're very serious about trying to tackle on behalf of the industry and push the technology to do that. So the future, it ain't that far away. You're going to see it over the next 5 to 7 years. And the supersonic jets, I'd love you to take a look at it. So, and hopefully everybody will have an opportunity to experience it one of these days.
It's amazing. I cannot wait. I love when I see like those travel times, that they talk about and all of this stuff. It's unbelievable. And I can't believe that it's going to happen kind of in our lifetime, in our orbit. So that's amazing. He brought a little video.
You'll be able to fly between, I'm sorry.
No, go right ahead. Yeah. Tell me. Well, actually,
I was just going to say, go ahead. I was just going to say, you'll be able to get to London out of New York a little over 3.5 hours. It'll be, like take a day trip to London in the future. So it's coming.
That's incredible. So you think 5 to 7 years, like within 5 to 7 years, we'll see this?
2029. You'll see it. Assuming the technology works the way it is, they're actually going to fly the prototype in a couple of years. So, and then they'll take the prototype, grow the prototype until it gets to the size that we want it. And the Defense Department of the United States is also, the government's actually investing as well in supersonic technology with the same company. So this is real. It is going to happen.
I cannot wait. That I can't think of a better way to leave this here. And Steve brought a little video with him, so we're going to close out with this little preview of the Boom, I guess it's called. Always a pleasure. Thanks for being here, and we'll chat with you soon.
Thank you so much. It's good to be with you all again. Thank you. Be careful not to get too close. I might just go.
That was fun. And I am so excited to introduce one of our newer clients that we've added to our roster this year. This is one of the best, Easy Greece. And I laugh because the minute I connected with them, the minute I met them in person, so amazing, so hospitable. And for all of you that have met them and have had the pleasure of dealing with them already, you have been absolutely impressed. What I love about them is that they don't just stick to the norm. Everyone always thinks Greece, Athens, Santorini, Mykonos. They think out of the box. There are lots of other islands to discover, and they seem to know everything about every other one of them. So that's what I feel is really, really important when you're looking at creating a unique Greece experience. So I'm going to turn it over to them now, and we are going to hear what they have to say and all the insider secrets they have to share about Greece.
Hello everyone. Nice to be here with you, and thank you very much, Gabi, for this opportunity. My name is Thanasis Papadimitriou, forget the surname, and I will get a few minutes to tell you a few things about us and what is Greece all about, which I'm pretty sure you know more. So I am the CEO of Evzin Greece, a company that was founded 31 years ago. Currently, we are a team of 25 members that we serve the corporate and the VIP markets. As you would expect from a DMC, we do we provide all kinds of services from the point that a guest or a group will arrive in Greece till the moment that we will salute them and wish them au revoir, to see you again. So we do from yacht rentals to villas, of course, hotel bookings. We design the content of a program. This is our USP. We try to understand what our guests would expect from their visit in Greece, and we prepare a program for them. And this is one of our USPs because throughout our years in the market, we have done numerous events and have treated thousands of people to every small island, big island, or the mainland of Greece. And this is what we can do differently than most of the other companies that stick to the more popular destinations. So very briefly, I guess most of you have been to Greece, and if you have been to Greece, you have traveled at least to Athens and a few of the islands, but Greece is much, much more than that. It has more than 6,000 islands. Out of those, more than 230 are inhabited. Many UNESCO sites from antiquity to natural reserves. And there's a very big part of Greece which is mainland, mountainous, with amazing beauty, very, very pure forests, rivers, canyons that we try, at least for a few days, our clients to visit because they will change their perspective of Greece. Now, before I go to describe a few things of Greece, I would like you to see a short video.
Hey you, what do you want?
I want to see the sun.
I want an escape.
You there?
An office with a beach view.
I want a natural town.
You?
I want to taste real food.
Something well-aged.
And you?
I want to relax.
I want peace.
All you want is Greece.
And all we want is to offer Greece in the best possible way that you expect. either for you or for your guests. So this presentation will also be online, so to see it later, so I won't bother you very much. But I want to give you, 2 or 3 tips. Okay, Athens is our capital, is the main point of entry to Greece. It's a city that we advise you to spend at least 3 days in order to understand our ancient civilization, but also modern days. Greece and Athens has been improving vastly for the past 10 years. And for those of you that haven't been here for that time, you will immediately see the difference. And then following Athens, the options are numerous, whether it's islands in the Aegean Sea, islands in the Ionian Sea, Crete, and there are destinations for all kind of tastes and habits and interests. Cyclades is the complex that is mostly visited because there are more than 20 really beautiful islands, including, of course, Mykonos and Santorini. But there's also, Kythnos, Milos, Sikinos, equally beautiful, but they're not so exploited as these 2 islands. And okay, yes, we have Santorini with amazing landscape and the caldera and the beautiful sunsets. But on the other hand, July and August, it's a very popular island, very, very busy, very crowded, quite expensive too. Mykonos is the party island, the island with the clubs, the amazing restaurants, Namos, Skorpios, that they are now, world known. And it's difficult to have a table or a reservation, especially in the very busy months. But we can do that for you. But apart from that, as I told you, there are so many islands, and we will be very, very happy to present every one of those, tell you what you can do, what you cannot do, and why you should visit. With Crete being the biggest of our islands and the 4th biggest in the Mediterranean, with distinct territories and landscapes and kind of services that you can enjoy. And all of the islands, especially in summer, they are very well connected to Athens, so you don't have to go, you can go from one another very quickly by ferries, thus managing your time in the most ideal way. As I told you, we do offer services to all kinds of guests, but we do that on a high-end level, and this is what we do know to do well. I will be here to answer any questions in the chat, and of course to get connected to you whenever you feel like. Again, thank you very much, Gabi. And let's see a video before we can have a different communication. Thank you so much for being with me.
Hi, my name is Otto and I'm from Klagenfurt, Austria. And I strongly suggest that if you're thinking of visiting Greece, think twice. It was 2013, I had a burnout, so I took a plane to Greece. From the moment I stepped my foot on that country, something weird started happening. It was the first time I was feeling this way. Strange, I guess. A little bit awkward at the beginning. You know the Greeks. Always trying to connect with you. And all this sea and sun and white, tiny houses everywhere. Look at me. Can you imagine? But no matter where I traveled, it still felt strange. In some places, I remember I could even hear my own breathing. Anyway, listen, think before you go. Why? I told you, my friend, it's that feeling. once you're in Greece, you will want to stay forever. And maybe you do.
Okay, this is fun. Chances are, if you ever watched Survivor or heard of the show, you might have heard of Vanuatu. But prior to that, it was always this best kept secret and this hidden gem, and I like to think it still is. We're excited today because we have Vanuatu Tourism, who sort of came out of the woodwork and is making a huge splash here in the U.S. Amongst travel agents and travel trade. So we're excited. This is such a paradise for divers, such a remote, about as off the grid as you can get, and it maintains just its natural feel, and it's a very authentic destination that I think you're going to enjoy. So I'm going to bring on Leah, and we're going to take it from here with a little bit of an introduction to Vanuatu.
Thank you, Gabriela, for the introduction, and thank you to all True Marketing team for the opportunity to be part of this webinar. Hi everyone, my name is Leah, and I'm really happy today to be here to present you and give you a small introduction to our beautiful destination, Vanuatu. We have been closed for 26 months, and I'm so excited today to be able to reconnect with our partners overseas, and in particular in the US, for because our border have been reopened since the 1st of July. So we are so excited. We are not asking for any vaccination. Our only health requirement is a PCR test 48 hours in advance, or a RAT test 24 hours in advance. The good news is our US travelers are exempted of visa, so they can just arrive in country with a booking in one of our tourism operators, and they will be granted a visa to enter as a tourist. The other good news is we speak English and we speak French, as you can see from my accent. That's beautiful. So you can come to Vanuatu now since the 1st of July. But where is Vanuatu? Vanuatu is situated in the middle of the South Pacific. It's 83 islands. And from the US, the easiest way is to go through Fiji. It's a 2-hour flight from Fiji. Our 83 islands are very, very diverse. So we are an adventure destination. We have lush tropical bush. We have 9 active volcanoes. We have trails, we have dive, we have snorkeling, and we have beautiful resorts and bungalows that are waiting for our US visitors to come back to our shores. This was just a small introduction to our destination. I just wanted the message to go out that we are reopened and that we are waiting for our US visitors. And before I leave you with Gabriela and the rest of this webinar, my colleague Jamin will take over and tell you a story about our beautiful destination. I tell you goodbye, and if you have any question about our destination, I'm here to answer any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Leah, for the kind introduction. And now over to me to tell you what the brand story of Vanuatu is and what it means to answer the call of Vanuatu. It's the sound of an ancient way of life, resonating through the ages. The echo of the conchon, the rhythm of the water music, the thud of warriors dancing as one. It's the voice of Mother Nature, the urge to wander far away from the everyday, to disconnect and reconnect, to become part of the landscape. It's the distant rumble of a volcano, the thumping hearts of brave land divers, and the ticking engine of a 4x4, waiting to take you on the best adventure by far. It's the sound of wind rushing through your hair, waves lapping on the shore, and the crackle of campfires on the beach. The soundtrack to the good old days when life was as it should be. It's the call of the sea to sail away to distant shores that lie a stone's throw away, and to be just one step into the ocean from another world of sunken history and breathtaking beauty. It's the laughter that fills the air, the warmest of welcomes, the promise of arriving as a guest and leaving as a friend. The best places, they talk with you, not to you. They build a lifelong bond by inviting you to be a part of their story. They say life is either a great adventure or nothing. To that we say, answer the call of Vanuatu.
Okay, we're going to take it to Latin America for the next few segments, next few guests. We're going to kick it off with Machu Picchu Inc. and Rocio. She's amazing, and Peru is the kind of place, and not to be corny, but it takes your breath away literally, okay, because of the altitude, and figuratively because it is just such a wealth of surprises. You've got the ancient wonders like Machu Picchu, and then you discover in Lima that it's sort of like a culinary capital of Latin America with a fusion of food and tastes and wonders. It's just an amazing place that you can spend weeks and weeks and explore and probably never do the same thing twice. So I'll turn it over to her to share some information.
Good morning, everyone. This is Rocio Zavala, manager from Machu Picchu INC tour operator in Lima, Peru. Today I will be pleased to show you a little bit my country, Peru, and what we can do for your clients. So this is our logo, Machu Picchu INC. We offer boutique travel experiences in Peru. What we basically do, it's what we basically are. We are a travel boutique company. We are handling luxury clients, high-end clients wanting to travel to Peru. Our mission is the company is to give the utmost when providing services, very unique experiences. Our travel portfolio is the basis of our business. We organize private departures for the most demanding clientele. As you know, we are in Peru. We have many jewels to show you, as Machu Picchu, the seven wonders of the world, and the new seven wonder of nature, as the Amazon River is. We offer, as I mentioned before, travel experiences, very unique travel experiences for your clients. Even navigating along the Amazon River, the Inca Trail to Machu Picchu, adventure activities in the Andes. As you can see in the picture, we have also the Rainbow Mountain. We have the beautiful city of Cusco in Peru. And also in Lima, we have the beautiful restaurant with amazing gastronomy experience to show you. And we work basically with the most exclusive suppliers, as the Belmont is the Hiram Bingham train, the Belmont Anden Explorer train with overnight on board, Palacio Nazarenas, Miraflores Park. You can contact us as this information.
Okay, get ready for some energy because every single time I talk to this couple, I just feel happy and I'm smiling and I'm laughing and I'm imagining my next journey in Argentina. This is the couple that owns Rixner DMC. So we're going to bring in Esther and Franz, and together they make a really beautiful combination. They have a wonderful family. They take their kids everywhere. So you know that everything that they suggest is really tried and tested and true. They've got a beautiful way of looking at Argentina because it is so diverse, and they really kind of put their heads together and decide on creating just the most unimaginable experiences. So we've got a slew to share for you. Anytime, reach out to us, and I'm going to turn it over to them to just introduce themselves and share a little bit about what they do.
Hello, Gabriela. Thank you for giving us this opportunity to present the love that we have for Argentina with you and with all of you. My name is Esther Faust from Rixner DMC in Argentina. I have been working as a DMC for the last 23 years, and 7 years ago, we decided with my husband to open a sustainable agency.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, and thanks for joining us. We will share now how amazing this country is. I can promise you, my name is Franz Rixner. I'm originally from Germany, and I'm living here in Argentina more than 40 years now.
We are a combination of landscapes and passion. We are located in the south of South America, really south, really in the end of the world. We have several non-stop flights from US. We have a very big country. We are going. The entering point is Buenos Aires, and from Buenos Aires we are flying south to Patagonia. We have 3-hour flight, and if we are flying north, we have 2-hour flight.
Iguazu Falls, the falls, one of the 7 natural wonders of the world.
We like to create unique events with local aborigines and local people. And we also like to do that in Salta.
Salta and Jujuy, Esther. The Spanish and the Incas influence is very strong in this region. Salta is also, by the way, listed under the 100 best vineyards of the world. The Torrontés wine is specialized in this area.
Mendoza is a perfect combination between wine, food, and landscape. We have multiple activities also here. Buenos Aires is a cosmopolitan city. It's a combination of a little bit of everything. We like to create unique events, and we like to combine tango and Evita. Don't cry for me, Argentina.
And Bariloche, the Lake District of Argentina, with the famous 5-star luxury hotel Xiao Xiao. All activities are outside between mountains and lakes.
And Ushuaia is the southern city of the world, from where the cruises are departing to Antarctica. We are very happy to share this small spot with you of Argentina. I hope you like it. We are very happy to be here in the summer edition, and we will love to share a video with it's a presentation of 3 destinations that we can combine together.
Okay, wow. Strap in because this is an interesting one. We've got a beautiful story to tell with Art Hotels. It's a group of 3, soon to be 4 properties in Ecuador that all tell a story. They all have a personality and they all maintain very deep connections with the land. And consequently, the company really maintains deep connections with the people, the magic makers and all the artisans and the musicians and everybody that makes tourism tick. So they bring in, it's more than the traditional hotel experience. They're always bringing in local flavor and local experience. So it's a very, very unique kind of stay at any of the properties. So we're going to turn it over to Stephanie to share a little bit more about the Art Hotels group and art experiences.
Thank you, Gabby, for having me this morning. It is a pleasure to be with you. And from the Northern Highlands in Ecuador, I'm really proud to present to you our property, Hotel Otavalo. So now I'm going to begin with the presentation. So feel free to let me know if you have any questions. I'm available in the chat. And at the end, we're going to have a beautiful video just to make a resume. So we are Art Hotels Ecuador. The concept of our brand is to preserve patrimonial and heritage houses that are maybe very old. Some of our hotels have over 100 years of age and are properties that have been recovered to be transformed into beautiful 5-star boutique hotels. This is the case of our property, Hotel Otavalo. It is located in the northern part of the country of Ecuador, going towards the border with Colombia. So as you can see, this beautiful property had quite a restoration. This is the facade of the hotel. This property actually was built in 1930, and it has been functioning as a hostel, as a radio for the locals, and then it was transformed into this beautiful property that today we have named as Hotel Otavalo. What happened during the restoration is that, as you can see, all the facade was covered in this green painting. And the architects and the engineers decided to take out all the painting, and they found that underneath this green painting there was brick and Andean stone. So they decided just to leave it open. And today we have this beautiful facade where you can see the bricks and the volcanic stone that are so kind of an example of the identity we have in the architecture here in Ecuador. So it's a combination of the brick and the Andean stone. And of course, it is a colonial Spanish house. So inside we have 4 internal patios, and then I will be showing you a little more about the rooms and the restaurant. But the construction just has been a wonderful work just to have today the Hotel Otavalo, as you can see it here. What makes it very special is that maybe you see a small facade, but the Hotel Otavalo is right in the heart of the city of Otavalo. That is actually one of the happiest cities in Ecuador. It is known because the people is so friendly and they're so nice, and they're always eager to share with you their culture, their gastronomy, their music. So just being in Otavalo, in the heart of the city, will make you feel all this beautiful and magical combination of the people, gastronomy, music, and of course the handicraft, because we're only 3 blocks from the market of Los Conchos, the most important market in South America, where we have all types of handicrafts. This is the back part of the hotel. This is called a boulevard. It is named the Heart of Apple. And this little boulevard is meant to be a walking pedestrian boulevard for the people that is visiting Otavalo. So the idea is that this will have a combination of several parks united. And what we want to do in this area is to have handicraft exhibition. We want to have our artisans and dancers just doing the private check-ins for the groups while they are arriving to this beautiful area. It also shows us how beautiful the construction it is made, and the balconies that we have from our luxury rooms. Also the entrance to our restaurant that is named Sarance, that I will be telling you a little more of the story of this beautiful restaurant a little more into we move into the presentation. This is the entrance to the restaurant. Sarance is the first name given to Otavalo. It means people that is only on their foot. Maybe you don't know, but the Inca culture was in Ecuador a very short period of time. It was no longer of 60 years, which makes us very different from our neighbors in Peru. And the northern cultures that were here before the Inca arrival were very brave. So that is why it makes it makes sense of having the name of Saransid, people that is always standing on their foot because they were very brave, defending their territorials from the invasion of the Incas and other cultures. And then, of course, the arrival of the Spanish. So in this restaurant, we always like to rescue typical Ecuadorian cuisine. And what is very nice is that underneath of the hotel, there is a small ravine that is still processed underneath the property. And what you see here in this picture, these were the arches that were helping the property to breathe. So the humidity will not affect the architecture. But this was hidden. This was underneath 1.5 meters of dirt and stone. So the architects and engineers decided to go into the construction, and they opened all this area that today it looks like caves that kind of take you to like you're another part of the world. And today we have this beautiful restaurant, and of course, being just inside of a stone-made cave just give you a very, very different kind of experience. And this is a view of what we have in the restaurant. And of course, we always like to preserve typical decoration that resembles to the identity of the destination. So this is how our restaurant looks today, with a very beautiful combination of flavors that come from the Amazon, from the highlands, from the coast, and of course, from the Galapagos Islands. And this is our rooftop bar. It is called Ñucanchi Wantaki in the Quechua language. It means let's celebrate together. And it's a beautiful place from where you can have the view to the Imbabura volcano. It is important for you to know that Otavalo, it's a valley, it's a beautiful valley surrounded by volcanoes. And from our rooftop and from our rooms, you just open your windows and you stand in our rooftop and you have the most amazing view to the Imbabura volcano. So it makes it very, very special. And of course, the selection of cocktails that we always like to combine with ingredients from each one of the destinations where our hotels are located. This is the inside of the hotel. Remember, I was telling you about the green facade that was transformed into this discovery of the brick and the Andean stone. The same happened in the inside. So all these arches and the wonderful Spanish construction was hidden underneath an orange painting. So again, the architects and the engineers decided to take out all this painting and just leave the beautiful brick construction that you see here today. In the property, we have 29 rooms. At the moment, it is the biggest property that we have in Art Hotels Ecuador, with accessible mobilities for handicapped passengers. You can see here also our elevator. So it's very easy to walk around. And since it's our biggest property, we are able to just show a beautiful concept of art and sculptures that we have in the hotel. And what makes it so special is that the concept and the name of Art Hotels Ecuador comes from the people that is working with us. We do something that is very different. We hire artists to work in the hospitality business. Usually we will do something different, but in here we decided to have artists and just train them to be part of the hospitality business, so they can share with our tourists and our clients coming into Quito or Otavalo or in Cuenca, where we have our properties today, and to share what they do in their normal lives. So we decided to do that is because usually an artist is more open, so they're not shy and they are very willing just to share what they like to do. If they like to paint, if they like to dance, or if they like to play an instrument, then they have an opportunity in our properties. This is one of our luxury rooms. It's one of our suites. And as you can see, the beautiful decorated with the same concept of architecture with stone and brick. And you can see how beautiful our beds are made. And in here, you can see the beautiful decoration that we have in our bedrooms and the view that we have to the Imbabura volcano that I was telling you about when you open your beautiful balconies. And from here, you can see also our deluxe rooms and our premium room that will be our lower category of rooms. And I just want to end just by sharing with you that we have these beautiful people that are the Otavaleños, where we do all the activities surrounding the hotel, from gastronomical activities, waving, and Andean instruments. Now we have a beautiful video for you to know a little more about Otavalo. And of course, I'll be very glad to answer any question that you may have. Thank you for this wonderful opportunity and my best wishes for you all.
This next guest, you've seen her before many times. She's on nearly every one of our broadcasts, Emily from Agents of Mice. She's super cool. And every single time that she speaks about something, you learn and you can envision yourself doing it. She, like all of our clients, just pulls from the most creative bank of experiences and creates anything. Nothing's really off limits with that company. So they are your key to Central Europe. And we're going to bring back Emily to have her share her updates.
What's up, guys? As you can see, we are working really hard on your requests and your future itineraries. And this is the way we like to work. Actually, work hard, play hard, but most of all, relax very hard. Anyways, this is where we imagine your future escapades, your future congresses, incentives, conferences, and we love to do it this way, but I'm still going to tell you a little bit more in the upcoming live what we do, how we do it, and most of all from where we do it. But from now, it's from the pool. Cheers!
Hi everyone, hi Gabby, thank you very much for having me again here. I love being here. I promised to be a little bit more serious, so here we go. You're gonna hear a short presentation about who we are and what we do and where we do it from, meaning in Europe, not obviously from Nepal. So we are a family-run company, husband and wife. Kids are too small to help us yet, but we have a great team of colleagues that are spread all across Europe in different countries, and we're called Agents of Mice, not because we specialize in mice, but we have our own little explanation for the little 4 letters, and this is how we put together your trips. So what do? We do quite a few things. Meetings and events from scratch all the way to budget management, coordination, and this is anywhere across Europe. We do a lot of bespoke itineraries, bespoke travel for FITs, for smaller groups. Right now, what's really, really hot is really immersing your clients, experiential travel, a lot of storytelling, engaging into the local communities, and really creating genuine connection with locals. So travel on a deeper and more emotional level, as I mentioned it on the presentation. We have a program that we call the Exquisite, and that's luxury travel for the most discerning. So if you have some super VIP clients that travel only on private jets or helicopters, private yachts, any type of really high-end, unmatched personal service. This is where we organize all the trips. Other than that, we do have as well a service that we started before COVID and came in very handy during COVID because no one could travel. And we called it Destination Recon. Destination Recon is something that we do completely aside from our trips and events organization. If you cannot get overseas, if you cannot get to Europe, we're here for you. And we do an exhaustive destination audit depending on exactly what your or your client's requirements are. And we send you this completely separate from any trip that you would book with us. You actually don't need to book a trip with us. You can do it yourself, but we can still do the destination recon on your behalf. We do have a program that we call the Sentinel. And again, this is becoming more and more requested by a lot of our clients, and it's a really large array of services that we put in place to keep all your travel safe, whether it's just to feel comfortable with someone next to you taking care of you during your trip, or a more sophisticated type of security. Where do we operate? So as I said, very often when it's hot like right now, we like to be in the pool. But to be more serious, we are, right now I'm talking to you from Prague. So we are in Central Europe, and from Central Europe here in Prague, we cover all the countries that you see on the map. We are lately very often in Austria, in Hungary, Slovakia, Germany. We do cross-regional programs, and whether you want us to be with you, your group, or have someone accompany your FIT clients, we just are with you wherever it's needed, either in person or only over the phone. Where else? Well, the Eastern Adriatic coast, so southeastern Europe, which means Croatia, Slovenia, all the way down to Albania. If we go on the Balkan Peninsula, which really, it stays very close to where we are. And in some of those countries, we do have colleagues that are based there and that take care of you or your clients when you are in the destination. We do France and Monaco. For those who have following my presentation, most of you already know by now that I'm actually half French. So doing France and Monaco, where I grew up, kind of felt personal, and I'm emotionally tied to those destinations, and so we work a lot. We do have a couple colleagues that are based in Paris. We do have a satellite office there, and from there we overlook all your travels to France, Monaco, and any French-speaking country in Europe or even North Africa. We do very often. Now, let's have a look. As I said, we do a lot of FIT, but we do a lot of events as well. So let's have a look at what type of events could be. A little bit more classic, whether it's for a bigger party or a smaller type of event. Spaces, locations that we turn into something not so classic, as you can see on the pictures here. Where else? We take you underground or to neo-industrial locations. Actually, the one on the right down bottom right-hand side is where, and left-hand side is where Mission Impossible was filmed, with Tom Cruise running through the tunnel. That was exactly there, and that's actually in Prague, and we can do wonderful events there, transform the place into a wonderful venue. If we continue, if you like heights and you like beautiful views, here we are in Bratislava, for example, in Slovakia. There's wonderful things to do as well for smaller or bigger events. If you like more of the countryside or the seaside, well, we can take you, and as you can see, you know, do a more private little dinner by the sunset, or a bigger event along the Adriatic Sea, as you can see. For those who like everything that is more tech oriented, we do a lot of dinners that involve video mapping, and that's always a very great demand, and has really always a very good response. People really love this type of show during the event. We work with great catering companies, as you can see, that really mix art and food, and to make your event just not only taste great but look beautiful as well, and which reflects on you, obviously, as well. So how many missions have we accomplished? Well, quite a few over a few years. This is just a few numbers, not the boring numbers, but more how many gala dresses were worn, how many bottles of water we've distributed, how many high fives of happy people we had. We kind of count our little statistics a bit differently, and take it more into the how many happy people we took to different locations. So what defines us? Everything we do is really highly tailored, as it's written on it. We don't have a routine. We don't do the same things for the same clients. Obviously, some offers are a little bit similar, but they are never put in place the same way for two clients. Everything is always worked from scratch. And what defines us again? Well, ethics and dedication. What's very important to us, and we hope to be starting this again now that travel's open, is to be able to participate in involve ourselves in local charities. So either with if you have a charity at heart in a location that you choose, or the destination where you go, we really like to involve ourselves with a local association or charity, and actually part of our turnover somehow, in a certain responsible way, give back to a local association or charity anywhere we go. And so this is in a nutshell. Thank you very much. I'll be on the chat right now, and I'm very much looking forward to catching up, talking with you, answering your questions. And here you have my contact details. So please shoot an email anytime or call me. I'm on WhatsApp, and I'll be glad to have a quick chat with you for your future events. Thanks. Bye.
So thank you again for coming around the world with us. We had some new partners here today and some really interesting places. I hope that all of your travel dreams are coming true this year. I hope this is the year, and next year are the times where you're taking time for yourself to explore. I am so glad that you're back with wonderful books of business that your clients are exploring, and I hope that these broadcasts continue to inspire you and continue to give a little bit more information than you had prior, with some of these great places and great companies around the world. So thanks for joining us. Please join us again. We'll be back with number 7, and as always, we look forward to seeing you. And now that we are going to see you in person. Join us at some of the key cities around the country that we're going to be in November of this year, and also a couple of months next year, a couple of different dinner series for the Vanguard brand and the Vanguard products. So we look forward to connecting you with all of our suppliers, and thank you as always for all your support. Take care.
Be careful not to get too close, I might just go.